The Ennerdale Valley is beautiful but not remote from the ravages of climate change. All of us have a duty to play our part in reducing global warming. We also have to think of the economics of escalating energy costs. And there are numerous examples up and down the length of the valley where your neighbours have addressed this latter issue. We can tap into natural energy sources. Setup costs may be a challenge, but these technologies can pay for themselves over a modest period of time. Here are some local examples. Capturing the power of the wind is almost as old as civilization. There are wind turbines down the length of the valley, but they require land on which to put them, and their installation is subject to planning control regulations. They require land large enough for the turbine to be lowered on its hinge for servicing, and a sufficient distance from buildings and pathways not to present a danger to life in the event of catastrophic failure. A benefit of living in West Cumbria are the few number of days when there is no wind. This example of solar panels is one attached to the roof of a small barn. It was chosen to minimise the visual impact of the panels. It did present its own problems, given the distance to the main electricity input into the house, which is 100 metres distant. The installation was completed in February 2022, and the residents report its significant impact on lowering energy costs and raising their awareness as to when it's best to use electricity in the house. The previous examples of solar panels were retrofitted, whereas new builds can incorporate not only solar panels but solar roof tiles too. These owners have also invested in a heat exchange system buried in the field beside the property. Heat exchange can be ground sourced or through an air source heat exchange system, which involves a piece of kit on the outer wall of the house. Ground source systems require pipes to be buried underground. We have 2 examples of this, at least, in the valley. One example here, where they were laid in a field, and a second, where they were installed below a domestic garden. Whilst installation may cause initial inconvenience, the ground soon recovers, and the heat produced is not subject to the limitations of sunlight and wind. And where open space is available, a solar array can be sited directly onto the land. It has a visual impact, but does not interfere with normal agricultural activities. The sheep are perfectly happy accessing the grass below the panel array. Our village cooperative, the Ennerdale Hub, has just won funding of just over £40,000 to install solar. However, the solar array will not look like an add-on. The roofing tiles will be replaced by specialist ones that incorporate solar capture capacity. This will be supported, as is the case with many other installations in the valley, by battery storage. This means that surplus energy generated by day can supplement the power needs out of daylight hours. This includes evening use of the building and, of course, the whole array of fridges, freezers and chill cupboards in the shop cafe and storage areas. The Gather installation will include 2 electric vehicle charging points at the front of the building, accessible from designated parking spots. This service for village residents, customers or users of the building will be on stream later in the spring. This brief introduction does not cover all of the possibilities that renewable energy provides, but gives you a glimpse of what your neighbours have done. Some of the more elaborate examples have adopted more than one type of energy source. One has wind and ground source, another solar and heat exchange. That resident boasts being almost self-sufficient in electric power. Some argue that the initial investment is a deterrent to adoption. Our question is, can we afford not to?